Okay, so what I have for you here today is a tale of three radiants. Well, maybe it's really only two radiants, but we've got three here. These two are the same. This one is not, and you can tell they're a little bit, they look very similar. This is just a tiny bit narrower, and where the difference really is when you look at the ends of these. Some of these are a little chipped up. Maybe this is a little better example. But if you look at how the ends of this, the corners are rounded and they're cut away, and this one they're not. They're quite square. So they're just a little bit wider. And of course the corners are cut. So you may be wondering, well, so what? What are you talking about? Well, the problem is that this right here is a Ray-Glo R48 radiant element, and these are almost impossible to find. You can sort of find them if you're lucky. You probably better have a better chance of finding these actually in a heater than separately by themselves. So really hard to find. They're also fragile, so that means that the ones that are out there are usually missing some parts and pieces. So but this other heater that I got recently, which I haven't showed you yet, which you will see, none of this one, but we're just trying to get some radiants that fit in it. So these came with it, and they do fit in there, but they don't set down within the grooves that are laid out apart for it, like they do in the the 16 and the well, actually it's the model 16 that's sitting over there. So all of the Coleman radiant heaters take the Ray-Glo R48 radiant heater element, and so what I'm going to try to do here today is that I'm going to try to trim these corners off a little bit. These are probably somewhat rare too, but right now they don't fit. They sit, instead of sitting down into the socket where they're supposed to, they sit above, and they're not very stable, so they're not really any good to me. So what I wanted to try to do was try to kind of line these up face to face like this, and then mark these, and then notch them out. The notch that's in here, you can see, is not very big. It's really quite small. It's like, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch, something like that. So all I gotta do is take a 1/4 inch off of this corner here ever so carefully. So you're like, well, how are you gonna do that? As usual, Harbor Freight to the rescue, right? So what I've got is that I picked up these extraordinarily cute 5-piece, obviously not 5-inch, rotary diamond cutting wheels with the mandrel and everything in it, or cutting discs, as they say. So with this, we should be able to cut through this silicon, well, I don't know, one of these alumina probably is what these are made out of. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and assemble this and see how it works. Now, the idea will be, hopefully, that I am able to get this cut and not destroy the radiant in the process. But knowing is how well the diamond tools work on stone, come on now, I'm actually cautiously optimistic. And the nice thing is that if these are more findable, I'm not exactly sure what model these are. I'll see if I can't look it up. All it says inside here is 407. I can't see anything else. The Ray-Glo R48 doesn't say anything on it anywhere, so yeah, good luck with that. But anyway, so I'll look these up. If I do find it, I'll probably caption it so that way you can see what these are, if this does happen to work. So we'll see how that actually goes. So let's get this little dude assembled, which shouldn't be too terribly hard to do. I didn't really say which side you should put the washer on, but usually the washer goes against where the screw is, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to screw that on. And then we're going to mark it up and see how this works. So hopefully we'll do some good instead of doing some damage. Let's see. It seems to be pretty tight. And we'll stick this in here. And there she goes, all good. So let's just make sure we got this tight because I don't want to have it zipping off into the outer reaches of the universe. And I've got a little Sharpie I can use here to kind of mark them up. So what I'm going to do is, it really looks like if I line this up right in the middle, like this entire lip here needs to come right off. So that just needs to come right off there. It probably needs to come off to about like there to like that, and probably just that corner is probably all that needs to come off. So we're just going to kind of sketch that a little bit here. Hopefully that kind of looks about right. Maybe not. Might need to come back a little further, I think. Anyway, not exactly rocket surgery here, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, no idea what's going to happen here. We'll see how it goes. Don't know if I need high speed or low speed. See which way this is turning. So it's turning that way, so this should be good. Oh boy, yeah, that seems kind of rough. Maybe I need a little higher speed on this. That seems to work pretty good, honestly. Of course, as my bearings completely destroy themselves, that's not too great. Literally. Wow. Well, that's not what we need when we're trying to do delicate work, is it? Oh, I know what's happened. These things have got this weird little... yeah, that's much better. Well, sort of. They've got a... the collet on these things aren't very good. And honestly, I've got a couple of Dremels, and this is probably my least favorite one. This actually cuts this super well. And I realize I probably should be wearing a mask with this, but I guess I'm not. All right. So those corners are out. They look to be about the same depth. So I guess really the way to see if I've done anything good is to pull up my other heater up here. So let's do that and see how this now fits in there. Sure, I got my leash. Okay. Pull up the old Model 16 that we had earlier. So these are R48s that are in here too. I think these were enameled at one point to have a prettier look to them. So that's why they have some color on the front and these other ones don't. But we're gonna see, I think I'll probably pull out two so I can have enough clearance around both sides. Yeah, and with these, it's like, man, once you put them in, the last thing you want to do is take them back out, because every time you touch them, right, you're going to have a more opportunity to break them. So, well, let's just see how this will fit up in there. Little slot there. And no, it's still a little bit wide, and it looks like I may need to, yeah, definitely go in some more, and maybe even trim the back a little bit, because they're not, well, they're sort of going in there, but yeah, they're just not quite enough. Not quite enough, but we're close. So I think this is maybe a viable alternative for if you can find something that doesn't fit, maybe you can do a little adjustment. So we're going to go ahead and take another notch out of these. got some really pretty good sized notches on the front of that now. See how that drops into there. Oh man, we were so close. Oh, I can see also what's happening. The back notches the back part of this needs to be notched a little bit too. Yeah. I'll take this one down here so you can see. You can see it's just riding up in here, and you see how these other ones have settled down in there. And they're riding on the back here also, so it just needs to be beveled off enough so it'll drop in. I don't have to cut it off, I just probably have to reduce the thickness of this on the front. And then on the back side you can see over there that it's not quite, that piece is in the way, so that'll have to kind of get removed too. So we'll see how that all kind of fits. Set you guys back up over here. There we go. And a little bit more adjustment. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and knock that off some. And then this we're gonna try to bevel a little bit. I gotta say, these little diamond cutting wheels work really good. And it was like $10 for the pack of 5. So it wasn't like super expensive either. So that's pretty impressive. So let's see if we've got it fixed so it sits down in there. Oh man, it's really wanting to go, but it's not. Yeah, I think those, I think the little bit on the back side needs to go, so it's just resting on the front. So I'm just take this piece off here and that piece off there. So we'll dress that out. So now you can see what we've done. We've just basically taken that entire corner off and just left that front piece there. And I've tried to kind of bevel those a little bit, so we'll see what happens. Oh man, it's again really, it's really super close, but it's just not dropping down in there. I think the backside needs to be relieved a bit too in the corners because it's still a little bit high. So this is going to come in more, probably about right to here, and right to there, and then I'm going to take these off. This is really nerve-wracking. You know, it really is. Because you're like, I don't know where I can get one of these again, so just being a little bit careful. But yeah, a little bit of adjustment here, and we might be getting to get it to drop in. There it is. That looks pretty good. Actually, it looks really good. Here, I'll fly you back in. So you can kind of see what we've done. We've dropped it down in here, so it's not gonna really go anywhere. It's locked into the top up here with that tab, and the bottom down here, so that's good. We'll need to make sure that we can have enough room. Since these are a little bit wider, they may end up being ones that sit on the end, and that way these other ones can kind of move around a little bit and make room for it. But hey, it looks like it's a viable replacement, whatever this happens to be. So like I said, I'll take a look. The only thing that I gotta watch out for, ooh yeah, I'm so close. If we look up there, that tab, I cut the high foot down, and now that tab's not up there as far as it was. It's just barely in there, so I guess I got to keep that in mind for the next one. So when I do that, I don't cut it too short. So yeah, no more trimming. No more trimming, but yeah, it looks pretty good, but boy, it's just hanging in there by the skin of its teeth, but it is in there, so that part's good. Anyway, so that's all I really wanted to kind of show with this. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this other one so I can have two that'll fit in nicely, and hopefully I won't try to shorten them up so much, and that way I'll still keep the height in there, and everything will fit like it's supposed to. So we'll just go ahead and do that. But yeah, maybe not the best way to do it by putting that tab in there. I kind of went counter to exactly what the other method of installation was. Maybe I just need to make sure I try to stick as much as I can to getting the parts of it beveled off. But you know, there's nothing back behind there, so you can't really bevel it into nothing. When you cut it, it just kind of disappears. So at any rate, that is what I've got for you. And until next time, keep them lit.